Welcome to episode 41 of the XrmToolCast. Jonas and I speak with David Rivard, who is the creator of the Dataverse Custom API collection and created after this podcast, but we talked about during this podcast, the Custom API Manager. So if you're interested in learning more about custom APIs, a new feature within Dataverse, this is definitely the podcast for you. So sit back and relax, and let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the XrmToolCast. With me, your host, Daryl, always raising the bar, and Jonas, lover of fine art rap. Jonas, how you doing?
It's good, thank you. I'm here in my home office, surrounded by fine paintings. So, yeah, life is jolly.
Jonas has a woman in blue and a woman with red hair behind her painted. I'm not sure if it was painted by someone he knows or someone from his family, but I'm not sure I'd spend a whole lot of money on them. But I'm not also I'm not an art connoisseur, so it may just be me. But yes,
yeah. This is just great content for a podcast.
Yes, well, you know that's us. We have great content. We always show up with the best intros ever, and we go from there. So so now that we hit rock bottom, it's only up. So I wanted to set the bar kind of low to start with, so that way our guests could really raise it for us. Yes, yeah. That's what it is. So our guest today is David Rivard. Is that the correct pronunciation, Rivard?
Yeah, you can say
is it Rivard or Rivard?
In French, you don't pronounce the D, but Rivard,
yeah.
It's fine.
It took me a long time to realize that French don't pronounce things. I mean, I called Illinois growing up like my whole life, and then like you don't put the S on. I'm like, why do they have it there? But yeah, okay. So all right, so we don't even David Rivard. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
So hi.
So hi guys. Thanks for having me. So yeah, a bit about myself. I come from Montreal, Canada. I'm working for a company called XrmVision. We're having a very nice bunch of people doing very Dynamics 365 CRM related projects. And I've been doing damage on the Power Platforms for 6 years now. So I've done a lot of development. I'm actually an architect, but I'm doing 80% of my job is doing development and code. That's what I like to do. So lately I tried to do some community stuff. I have a nice collection of PCF control that I've gotten a lot of attention. And lately I've been working on custom API since it's been out for a couple of months, and I decided to talk about that at the Scottish Summit. So now I need to put some stuff out on custom API. So I decided to put a community project on custom APIs, which are basically custom actions revamped. But yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into that real quick. So we definitely do go on the more technical side of most podcasts, but we try to have a fine line here. So custom actions were built off of workflow technology, and it was a way for developers, anybody, to define a endpoint that you could then call within, at the time, CRM, Dynamics, CDS, now Dataverse. And now they've introduced this idea of custom API. So David, what is the difference between a custom API and a custom action?
Actually, it's quite the same in code-wise. It's going to be quite the same thing. You will inherit from a plugin context with a collection of inputs and outputs. But like the devil is in the detail here. Like it's much simpler way to express, to define, and you don't have to edit. You don't have to go in the workflow editor. And also, one of the biggest difference that I see is that you're actually coding in the pipeline, the plugin pipeline. You're coding on the main action.
So right. You're not in the core.
The core action. You're not coding on a
process.
pre-operation or post-operation, you're actually coding on the main action. You are coding the message.
You are coding the main action.
Yeah,
You're providing
you are coding.
the code
If you use when you execute your custom API, if you use your favorite plugin trace viewer, then tool that Jonas provided on the XRM Toolbox, you will see that the actual trace is on the main operation.
Yeah.
So you're actually coding the message you're trying to express.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think,
so that is a really big difference. First off, it sounds like this is much more what Microsoft probably would have created if they didn't have workflow engine already in place. And so rather than bolting something on, this is kind of, hey, we're starting scratch from scratch. If you define a custom action, why are we putting all this workflow mumbo jumbo here? You have some inputs, you have an output, and you do some stuff in the middle. And here, go ahead and provide whatever that stuff in the middle is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the background was, I mean, when they introduced custom actions, it was not really aimed at giving us developers sort of an endpoint to write code for, but rather to, okay, you can create your workflow and then this will be callable. It will be exposed in the API from CDS, Dataverse. But then they realized, okay, no one is really using all the steps, the workflow part of it, but rather since the custom action was exposed as a message, it was possible to trigger plugins on it to write steps for the plugin registrations there. And that's what was being used. So they figured more or less, okay, we don't need all this wireframing around it with the workflow engine and the possibility of adding steps to your custom actions, but rather give the simple entry point to writing your server-side code, which is also then callable through the APIs. So I think it's really good sort of way of Microsoft showing, okay, this is how this is being used. This is where the added value is, and let's just narrow it down to that core feature. And you can even, I guess you can even specify if it should be possible to register any plugin to it, or if you can lock it down so it can only be executed by your specific plugin.
Yeah, and actually that's one of I think that's one of the biggest difference between the custom action and the API is you can lock down your message. So there's a switch, there's a field called allowed custom processing step, and if you set it to none, nobody will be able to attach. It will create a message with the name of your API, but nobody will be able to attach on the pre-operation, post-operation. So your message is and that could be a big deal. Let's say I have a custom API that validates a license. Like if someone is able to attach on the post operation and mingle with my outputs and say, oh, your license is valid while it should not be valid, then everyone that could be a good use case, especially if you're ISV and you're trying to protect your messages.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can even specify a name of a privilege for users to be able to execute this or to call this action. So if you have an existing privilege like read contact, then you can specify you need the read contact. You cannot specify a specific role, but rather a privilege that the user would need to have to be able to execute it.
Okay, so both of you have obviously done some work in this, and I haven't. So is there another configuration screen then in Power Apps to go through and define this, or is it almost look exactly like the custom actions?
No, that is the problem. Like the right now the authoring the authoring experience is awful. Like there you go and create, it says new custom API. You end up with a old look, like you end up in the old you're not in the UCI, you end up in the old model driven.
It's just the default classic form for an
default
entity,
classic form.
Since they are stored in just normal entities, and the custom APIs as well.
And that's where I'm currently working on a XRM Toolbox tool to make things more pleasant to author, because
Nice.
and you will need to actually, because you need to define your API, and then you have the inputs and outputs, which are request parameters and response properties. But you cannot edit one API in the same view. So that's what my tool the tool I'm working on will focus on. Microsoft says they will provide an editor in the future, but I cannot wait for the.
So this is one of those tools that we know have a end of life date, unless it stays better than the Microsoft experience. So then it can live.
Get it out there fast enough, and it's better than anything they could do. Then they may not be as likely to go through and replace it as quickly.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's very similar to your auto number generator settings, right? Like Jonas, you knew something was coming, but like you need it now, and you want people in your team to use it now, and so you go out and do it.
And even if the experience is not great, like it should not. People should still go and try it. I think it's the way. It's the way it's gonna be in the future. Like the workflow editor will die by itself in the near future. So I think it's a thing. It's an area where the developers should invest their time.
So I get excited when I hear you mention that you have a tool coming. Do you dare to give an ETA release with one or two?
I'm working very, very hard on it, because I don't want you to scoop me and make it on your.
No, I won't. I might have, but now I know you're doing it.
Yeah, but it's getting. It should be ready by the end of the year.
Oh,
and
great.
Since I have it, because I need to speak about custom API at the Scottish Summit, so I want to have something cool to show.
And for our listeners, I think this episode is being released just after New Year, so we're talking. It will be released by that time. This
pressure.
Episode
no
is
pressure.
released.
Better be. It better be.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm learning a lot, because it's my first XRM Toolbox tool.
Oh, back to the WinForms we go.
Oh my god.
No, what do you mean? You mean oh my god? It's like
oh my
it's
yay!
A revelation. Yeah, we're back.
But actually, I found some of your secret sauce. I think the XRM toolbox controls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you definitely have to use those.
Yeah. When I discovered that, I needed to. I think I erased 80% of the code I've written, and but it's not documented. It's not very well documented. But
yeah, it is. Just ask me, and I will tell you. Or Jim knows. He's done half of it. James
it's great. It's a really great extension tool. It's amazing.
Okay, so you don't only know about custom APIs and played around with it. You also, I mean, the reason we're talking to you now is we saw a tweet a week ago or so where you announced that you have a GitHub repository with a bunch of a collection of custom APIs that you could you tell us a bit about those?
Yeah, actually, there's because for me, the way to learn about when I want to learn about something, it's like try to release something for the community. So it's how can we have some API that are like kind of generic and that can be helpful to people, that can be installed on any Dataverse. So the first one that I written is it's the environment variable. How to get an environment variable. Like we've all seen like. Tens of posts of people trying to having their own way to get the environment variable, whether they're in Power Automate, if you are in PCF, if you are in JavaScript. So I wanted to make a method that is universal. So you can call that method from you just need to send the key. What is the name of your environment variable, and it will return to you some information like does it exist. Second is the value if it's a string, value if it's a boolean, if it's a integer, if it's all of the different the different output that an environment can have. So it's I think it's quite useful, and especially because we at where I work, we have a lot of people working on Power Automate. So I always try to make tools that will help the makers. people who are doing Power Automate and try to put some logic on the plugin side where it's robust and tested and everything, and they just have to call these as they would call custom actions.
So helping the poor citizens.
Yeah.
So am I right in understanding that this is basically like the workflow utilities of old, where you have a solution that they download, they install, and now they've got this nice custom API that they can consume from Power Automate or wherever.
Exactly.
And they can just consume it, and they don't have to write any of the code for it. So this is like the next this is like the PCF gallery only for APIs. It's the API gallery, kind of the start of it, right?
Got my idea for 2021.
And what is the official name for it? It's
now I call it Dataverse Custom APIs.
Dataverse Custom APIs.
Yeah.
So naming things is always really hard. So I congratulate you on defining a name that is what it is. So I can't argue with them that one.
Yeah.
I'm on a project where every single team is a letter of the alphabet. So I mean, the A team, B team, is kind of right. It's kind of interesting to try to figure out what team does what. But okay. But okay, cool. So that makes sense. And so you've got how many of these little APIs that you've created?
Yeah, I think I got 4 right now. But the thing is, I want them to have a value. Like I could just take the custom workflow activity pack and just reproduce all of them in actions. But I will not do that. Like I have a discussion on my GitHub repository. If someone wants to have something, I will build on that. But I will not just put on new API just for the fun of it. I want them to have a real value. Yeah. If I find something that will help me on a project, I might put some more in there. But
well, I know there are some things that are possible to do using what's it called? Custom actions or unbound actions, or so like winning opportunities, which could be really hard because Flow, the UI doesn't render everything sort of in an easy to understand way. So I guess some of those custom messages and custom not custom actions in that sense, but the activities that you can perform against the Dataverse database could be subject to have like generic functions for.
And also one interesting that I've made lately is like it's get table info. So I already put the naming of the new
Look at
tables.
That. But already changing naming conventions.
Yeah. But it's really aimed at citizen developers, because actually it's a call on the metadata, but you just pass the name of an entity, and it will give you all the different namings, like the collection name,
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Like there's 4 or 5 different outputs, but it's easy to get. So if you're in a flow and you need to know the collection name of account, it will give you accounts and things like that. So it could be useful.
Primary ID attribute, primary name attribute, and so on. That's really good. I guess the same would be useful for option sets as well.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot I put the object type code. So if you need the object type code, you just put the name of the entity, and it will spit it out to you.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
So have you had any feedback yet on this collection that you published?
Not yet, no.
If you wait long enough, while on the show, Jonas will find something wrong, and he'll tell you need to fix it, because that's what usually happens. He looks sad, oh, you didn't do this, and so I guess it's kind of the hazing we have of our guests. We will invite you on our show. You will give us your time. You will talk about it. We will publish it and take all the credit, and then we will also say what you did was wrong.
Yep, totally.
Amazing.
No, not really. No, I think it's a really good initiative, and it kind of comes also, since I obviously like talking about myself, but since you know as well, I have a tool coming where you can test, or not test them, but try them out, the APIs. I actually asked on Twitter how you test your custom actions and custom APIs, and I only got a lot of responses saying, well, you write your unit test. Well, I didn't mean test, I meant try it out. So you can use that tool to try them out, and I'm definitely looking forward to trying some of your APIs out here with my tool as well, and to sort of see that they can work fine together.
Yeah, and actually I tried it because you sent me your repo, and it's your tool works very well. So
yeah, it's nice. I think it's fun to see that even in these areas. I mean, usually we tend to find tools around the platform for things that have been a struggle since 2011 or something, and then someone finally fixes it. But also it's great to see that when they introduce new technology like the custom APIs, that it takes like 5 minutes, and community initiatives like this collection and like the tool you're working on and so on start popping up there.
And actually, I was listening to one of your show, and you said that you should not invest too much for the get environment variable. You said that Microsoft will come out with something for that, because environment variable are amazing, but there's no way to get that value very easily, and I don't understand why there's no message for that. So I guess my API will become obsolete with time.
What I'm hoping for is that it gets obsolete, not for the reason that Microsoft just produces the same thing, but what we really want regarding environment variables is, of course, the caching. I mean, since now you don't want to have to read it, because it basically performs a retrieve multiple of the environment variable value table and so on, and we don't want to do that every time. We want the cached information instead for performance reasons. That's what I'm hoping Microsoft will provide one day.
Oh, all this hopeful Jonas, hoping that everything's just gonna work out without any changes. It may turn into the next Ribbon Workbench, where Microsoft's like, well, everyone's using that, so we're not gonna bother with it. Yeah, or maybe not. Maybe they'll come up with it. They probably will.
Maybe one thing that's worth talking about is that you cannot profile these custom API even if it's plugin code. One of the thing that I don't like right now is I cannot profile and having a step-by-step debugging on the code. So you have to put some trace.
Or you have unit tests.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to have it's a good reason to have a robust unit testing strategy.
Yeah, keyword there, robust. I have yet to see a sort of full covering unit test.
Well, you don't. In order to be able to debug it, like step through it, you don't need to be robust. Like you just need to have one method that you're calling. That's all you want is to debug your code stepping through it. That's not robustness. That doesn't take much time, and you can get a lot of value out of that. I thought you were talking about
unit tests covering all the scenarios that could ever occur from now until the end of time.
That'd be nice.
It would.
It would work, but it'd be nice, right?
Unfortunately, the tests themselves would take from now till the end of time as well.
Yeah. Well, there's a trade-off. You gotta find that trade-off. Yeah.
So, David, how do you do, since you cannot plug in with the profiler? What's your go-to method when you want to troubleshoot your APIs?
It's fake XRM easy.
Okay.
Or you just put some trace. You put some tracing, and then you can analyze the trace. Or but I haven't done like very heavy stuff like for product like the API I've done for community are quite simple, so it's quite easy to debug. But if you want to do something that really create resources in the Dataverse or things like that, then you will need a more unit testing. Like fake XRM easy for me is a good.
I would imagine that one of the reasons that they're not shown that you can't actually profile it is because it's running as the actual message itself, and the profiler kind of comes before that and wraps around it, so that's why that doesn't work. And also, if they have it set up now to say you can't register any plugins against this and you can't change the message, that would, to me, say, why would they do that? Well, it's because they want ISPs to be able to use it, and if they want ISPs to be able to use it, what would they use it for? Well, the scenario you exactly talked about at the beginning of the show was, hey, I want to validate that they have a license to use my product or whatever. And if all those things go together, then it would make sense that they would never ever actually give you the ability to profile that and see what's going on, because that's something they're probably trying to allow to happen. I'm even wondering if they would even go as far to prevent you from from being able to even download the plugin assembly that you have in there as well. Because then the ISP actually has the assembly is still in the solution file. So if you give them the solution file, you're still giving them the assembly. So, but maybe they have a way to remote install that, and so that way they don't have to actually ever give away their IP through a DLL.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's just since the architecture of the profiler, it needs to attach to a plugin step, and you don't have any plugin step. You just download you just upload your DLL in on your server, and then when you define your API, you link it to your plugin, but in the plugin registration tool, you have nothing to do. There's no no configuration in there.
There's no configuration of the plugin. It's all done to the entity, and they're solution aware, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this
sort of. Well, they are, but that's one thing with the user experience, or the experience when you're entering and creating these now, is that you can be in a solution. You say create new custom API, and then you create it, and then you don't find it, and you create another one. It says duplicate name, and you understand nothing and start ripping your hair out, which is why I don't have any hair more. And then you realize, okay, it did create it, it just didn't add it to the solution. So after you create it, you have to add it to the solution as well. Well, it's actually listed in the docs as a known issue at this point, but it's going to get a lot better here, I hope.
It can't get much worse from that aspect of
No.
you think you're in a solution creating it, and you don't actually. It's just created and then it gets added to the solution. I think that
and it's the same thing when you create the API, then if you create a request parameter, same thing. If you create a response parameter, same thing. So you have create everything and then add it to the solution if you want it there.
Oh, okay. So you have the actual. You define the API, and then you also define a input parameter or a request parameter as a separate record as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Those are child records to that one.
And also, that's the thing. If you're naming, you need to name your parameters and your inputs and your outputs. They have the key name. The unique name is the key that you will use in your plugin code. But there's also a parameter called name, and this name don't only put the same as the unique name. You need to put you need to have a naming convention, name of the API /in for input or /out, and the name of your key. Because otherwise, when you will look at in your solution, it will be everything will be messed out. And
so this is not a technical requirement, but I mean, from your experience, you really need to sort of invoke some kind of pattern to your naming. And I actually gave a comment back to Jim Daly at Microsoft the other day about all the different names. You have the unique name, you have the name, you have the display name, and then you have a description as well, if that was not enough. So, as we started with from the beginning here, there will be improvements to UI and how this is all built up. But who knows? They might take a few years. So keep building your tool, please, David.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, this now makes me think of changes I need to make to early bound generator as well, because this caused when they started introducing this feature, they started rolling it out, and they weren't quite the APIs they released, or the DLL, the SDK that they released, wasn't quite in line with the early bound generation that was being generated, because they were referencing properties that don't actually exist in the SDK in the generated code from the CRM service util, but it was there, so it was kind of weird, and I couldn't hide it because I just thought, they're custom actions, but no, they aren't custom actions, they're APIs. But when you say, hey, CRM service util, generate my custom actions, it was generating the custom APIs as well.
Okay. And
so I think right now, I'm filtering out. I think I'm only allowing custom actions to be selected and generated. So I need to go back and update that to allow for custom APIs as well, I think. So dang it, David, you gave me work to do. That wasn't what I wanted.
That's good. Merry Christmas.
And you managed to start talking about your tool as well today.
Of course.
We did it.
Of course.
So are we done now?
We spent some time talking about our guests, most of the time talking about us. Sounds like a winner of a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So David, you're in Montreal, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So I've actually been there twice. I went to Montreal twice. So it was nice because it's not that far away from Indianapolis. So it was a short jog over the lake. So yeah, it was fun. It was was bad weather. I came at what was it? It would have been like October, so it was just like rainy and dreary and cold.
That's the worst. That's
the
worst time to
it was
come
bad.
here.
Yes, it was not. It was not all that great, but yeah, everything else is great, and everyone is very good in English because I was trying to go with Spanish because that's my only other language that I didn't know anything about, and so I'm like, wait, no, that's Spanish. I need French, and it was painful, but that's me being my arrogant American and not knowing the other languages, but yeah, so yes, so it's nice to have somebody on this side of the pond to talk to about in my time zone, let alone. So Jonas is the only one that's up late tonight, and David and I are enjoying the sunshine.
I actually, we're recording this Monday before Christmas, and I had my last day of work now before like 2 weeks of Christmas, New Year's vacation. And I was like, yay, 5 o'clock, I'm free now. No, I have a podcast to record tonight.
You'll never be free, not from us.
I'll never be free, no.
All right.
But I'm curious, David, you mentioned you're constantly evolving this collection of custom APIs that you have published. Mm-hmm. You are preparing for your Scottish Summit session, and you have this external toolbox tool to author custom APIs with all the parameters and so on. Do you have any other interesting things, I have very seeds in your brain, or actual tools or stuff out there?
But I have a cool collection of PCF control that I've had a lot of very good traction, and it's for me it was I really learned a lot doing these, and it's actually I try to take one subject. Every control is one is for option set, one is for the two option, one is the one that I'm most proud of would be the country picker. So you have you have a very nice country picker with the flags and things like that. So I have to learn. I learned the React. I learned the hooks. I learned and these two I try to keep. For me, even sometimes nothing change on the surface. I always try to refactor the code and come and do some tests, do some. So I think they're pretty cool. Like some people have blogged on my controls, so I guess they're not so bad.
Yeah, that's always fun to see when other people are actually bragging about your stuff.
Yeah.
But
actually, because one thing I don't like is I should be blogging, but for me it's like documentation. Like I'd rather put some code out there and people can blog.
Have someone else write about it. I since Daryl mentioned that we need to tell you where you're wrong. You have a PCF control called option set icons. It should be choice icons.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Yes.
And true option icons should be yes/no icons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if they support multi-select, then it should be choices icon.
Choices.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Because that just rolls off the tongue. Choices.
Yes.
Choices. Yeah. So if you have 3 PCF tools, that's 3 more than I have.
No,
so
he has
bravo. 7. All right, that's 7 more than I have.
I really encourage you. You need to invest some time in the PCF. And once you get your haha moment, then you'll get into it. It's so cool.
A haha moment.
Yeah,
awesome.
But it's tough.
Right.
I can say it can be tough.
Yes. Yeah. We'll go with that was supposed to be a aha moment rather than a haha moment, but maybe a haha works too. I don't know. That's great. Yeah.
It's a French thing. I know.
It's a French thing. It's a French thing. That's what it is.
Yeah. Tanguy never writes haha when it's funny. He writes ah. So it's a French thing.
It's a French thing. Yeah. Awesome. Well, anything else, David, that we're missing? Anything else you want to be able to talk about? You've got your tools. It's out in GitHub. You'll share the links with us so we can share it with our listeners. You've got your PCF controls, all 7 of them. You got an idea in your head for a new idea. You got lots of stuff going on. What else do we need to let the world know about?
I have some. There's some NuGet packages that we have for that I've worked on. They're more for our company, but they're out there for. If you type XRM Vision, then you will have 3 NuGet package. We have my plugin base, workflow base, and collection of extensions. Actually, there's no support on that. It's only use it at your own risk. There's no documentation, but there's some quite cool code in there.
I noticed
mostly syntactic sugar and making plugins look the plugin code will look better.
I noticed in the custom API code on GitHub that you're using some kind of plugin base, and I was about to ask you about that, but I'm guessing that's the one I can find on Nugget then.
Yeah, but actually the plugin base it's something I've inherited when I started working in CRM. Somebody gave me their plugin base, and I kept evolving this. I always keep it with me because I don't want to write. Obviously, I don't want to write on iPlugin anymore.
No, of course.
So, is there a GitHub project for it as well, or is
no?
it just
there's
the
no
DLL?
There's no GitHub. It's just the DLL, but it's not the DLL. It will download the code. It's because actually, because what
source only.
Yeah. What I want to do with that is I'm anywhere in the world and I can download the plugin base in my repository and go ahead.
Yep, I've got the same thing.
Yeah, I actually spent half my day today refactoring someone else's code at a client, which was implementing iPlugin interface all over the place, everywhere, with so much duplicated code. So that felt good. It gave me a good Christmassy feeling leaving that project so much nicer.
That is kind of fun. Be like, oh, this is so much nicer than what it used to be. You didn't post any daily WTHs though.
No, the developers are too close to me.
You always say it's not me that did it. That was the original developer. So you know.
Yeah, right. Well, I said they're close to me. It's not me.
Oh, okay.
There's a fine line there.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Jonas.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, David, I'm gonna check out your plugin based class because it's always interesting to me to see what else someone else find worthwhile to do. How do they do it? What are they doing? And most of the time, how many of them are having race conditions because they're caching the service as a property for the class.
If you find something wrong, just tell me.
So that's your idea of a fun night, finding race conditions in someone else's code.
Well, yeah. I mean, some of those are pretty obvious. Other ones are not. But yeah, the obvious ones, I was like, oh, really? Come on. I was actually the project in Montreal when I was on that project. They had three different base classes they were using on all their different plugins, and the service was different depending on what plugin you were in. So you had to remember what base class you were using and what kind of service you would get out by default, if it was like the admin service or if it was like the actual user service or whatever. So that was a difficult project having all those different plugin base classes. But I got to clean them all up, and it felt good. It was my Christmas present for myself, was cleaning all those up. So, yeah.
So I guess to sort of round this episode off, could we promise each other, David, that by the time this episode is released, your XrmToolbox tool and to build custom APIs and my XrmToolbox tool to test them will be published?
Yeah,
right?
that would be great. And also, because I want to link when you author in the authoring of the custom API, I want to be able to link to the tester. So that could.
Oh, absolutely. We should chat after this and to see what kind of messages we need to exchange.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys just stay on the line. You can fix it right now. Jonas doesn't sleep. It's fine.
We can absolutely. So, should you just keep the record button on in case people want to listen?
Let's think of names here. We got to think of names. So we have the custom API builder. I'm guessing that's what yours is going to be, David.
It's custom API manager so far, but if
manager. All right.
We can.
If you're going to edit it, then yeah, manager's better than builder. That's why I did the attribute manager, because I'm going to edit it, not just create it and whatever else. And Jonas, you're going to create a custom API tester.
Yes, exactly.
Tester.
Yes.
All right. I just figured that would be like a part of the fetch XML builder somewhere in there or something.
Yeah, not really. But the icon is ready.
No, you're wrong, Daryl. You're wrong.
Yeah. You have an icon, David? You need to have
yet.
a good icon.
Yeah.
Takes time.
I will try
creating icons and giving a proper name.
Yeah.
Rest is easy.
Or, yeah, just get it. Just get a generic icon and use it for everything. That's what I've done. Jonas makes little TLAs that he puts into icons, which are actually make sense. So I get kind of jealous, but that's okay.
You can do
I
it
don't
too,
spend time
Darren.
doing it.
One day.
Yeah, but that's time that I just don't want to spend doing it. So time I can make a tool. So, all right. So we're getting off topic again, but let's wrap this up. David, thanks for joining us. Thanks for creating tools. Thanks for teaching me about custom API stuff, because I hadn't even gotten into that. And Jonas, I guess you helped a little bit too. But I'm going to thank David because he's our guest, and
I'll thank him as well.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys.
And we look forward to seeing the tools you guys will be creating together. This would be like our first episode where we like created a tool directly out of it with like, I guess we didn't create a tool out of it. We created an interaction of two tools in it, I guess. Yeah. So we got that going. So, all right. David, how can people get a hold of you? I
have my Twitter. So just David Rivard. It's I'll send the link to you. You can put it on the webcast, and you can have my GitHub. GitHub and Twitter is the easiest way to reach me.
All right, cool. And Jonas, how do people get a hold of us?
Well, XrmToolCast is still not on GitHub. Maybe we should be. I don't know.
What do we have to get? What do we have to hub it? What do we have to hub on GitHub?
Everyone is putting everything on GitHub nowadays. We need it. We'll be there. But so far, until then, Twitter is the best place, I guess, at XrmToolCast. Just follow, chat with us there, and you'll see everything new that's happening as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks, David. It was great getting to meet you online here, and it was great learning about all your tools you have. Very impressed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
This has been the XrmToolCast with Jonas Rapp and Daryl Labar. If you have any questions for Jonas or I, or suggestions for future episodes, please send them to cast@xrmtoolbox.com or tweet to XrmToolCast.